A thread by Carlos Osuita. Now we can lay to rest all the theories that Biden won't be the nominee. The Democrats think that Donald Trump is so hated that anybody who runs against him will win. Let Chris Wallace prove it to you. From radio.foxnews.com, the damnedest thing I've ever seen. Chris Wallace on Biden campaign not sending out any surrogates. Quote, they are not putting anybody out. And at first I thought, well, maybe it's because it's Fox News and they're boycotting us. No, they're not putting anybody out on any of the Sunday shows. I don't understand what's going on here. It's the damnedest thing I've ever seen. No questions from the press. No surrogates explaining the Democrats' platform. Two candidates who claim to be moderate but who are pushing the most radically left positions in American history. The Democrats openly embracing the BLM agenda and their intensifying terror campaign of storming residential areas and demanding, under threat of death, that the people leave or pay Danegeld. Poem by Rudyard Kipling. It is always a temptation to an armed and agile nation to call upon a neighbor and to say, we invaded you last night. We are quite prepared to fight unless you pay us cash to go away. And that is called asking for Danegeld. And the people who ask it explain that you've only to pay them the Danegeld and then you'll be rid of the Dane. It is always a temptation for a rich and lazy nation to puff and look important and to say, though we know we should defeat you, we have not the time to meet you. We will therefore pay you cash to go away. And that is called paying the Danegeld. But we've proved it again and again that if once you have paid him the Danegeld, you never get rid of the Dane. It is wrong to put temptation in the path of any nation for fear they should succumb and go away. So when you are requested to pay up or be molested, you will find it better policy to say, we never pay any one Danegeld, no matter how trifling the cost, for the end of that game is oppression and shame, and the nation that pays it is lost. The Democrats offer nothing positive, and their nominees are repulsive, corrupt, and universally dishonest. Chris Wallace is unable to grasp what Trump is doing. Trump campaigns every day, and he's fixing everything in record time. The Dems have no accomplishments. Pelosi and Schumer think they can win by withholding aid to the American people and pushing for the total catastrophe of universal mail-in voting. If the Democrats were trying to lose, what would they do differently? And don't tell me this is part of a genius plan. What you see is what you get. The Democrats don't have superpowers. They need to create at least 3 million paper ballots in order to steal the election. And they don't know where to send them. They've done nothing in crucial battleground states. You want me to believe that they are screwing up absolutely everything else, but their election stealing plan will go through as slick as you know what through a goose. The only place they can steal elections is in the office buildings of the secretaries of state. They have to somehow pump 3 million paper ballots into the system, into those buildings unnoticed. And that is going by 2016 numbers. In 2020, they'll need tens of millions of paper ballots. You think they've anticipated that? Of course not. They think the election will be close. Not one Democrat is expecting the Trump 2020 landslide. By the time we get to November, the states will have to allow in-person voting. And you think Trump hasn't prepared countermeasures for the stealing of the national election? And it's not just the presidential election and vice presidential election the Democrats have to steal or delay indefinitely. There's absolutely no way that the presidential election would be delayed, but not the House elections. We're talking an operation far beyond the capabilities of the people screwing up absolutely everything. The logistics simply make that theory a non-starter. So that means there will be no House and no Speaker of the House. The person who becomes president in the event of indefinitely delayed elections is the Senate President pro tempore, Chuck Grassley, Republican of Iowa. And the person who becomes vice president is Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. In the event of no election, governors in plenty of states can appoint temporary senators. So the Republican majority is safe. And the Constitution has no provision for what happens if there are no elections, so not even the above scenario is guaranteed. If the elections are delayed past January 2nd, 2021, it's possible that we would have no government. In that case, the Secretary of Defense would become acting president. That's what Obama did in 2009. From CBS, Gates to be designated successor on Inauguration Day. There's no doubt that Trump has done the same. The Democrats know all this. So my prediction is that the national elections go smoothly. Trump and Pence are reelected, and the GOP take the House and hold the Senate. This is 2016 all over again. Democrats and their media lackeys have convinced themselves that they have it in the bag because they think Trump is universally hated. They have no secret plan to defy all laws of nature, science, and logistics to delay election results. And it would hurt them as much as it would hurt the Republicans. So all is well. Oh, and Saudi Arabia is next to openly make peace with Israel and normalize relations. All of the pre-placed pieces are being moved into place in the last weeks before the election.